This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. Welcome into you. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I'm Rebecca Smith.
I'm Bill Bryant. Sure is good to have you with us on WKYT on your Wednesday. It is August 3rd, and now at 6 a.m., a man accused of murdering a 5-year-old Woodford County boy will be returning to court today in Versailles. A judge is expected to rule if he is competent to stand trial.
Power has been restored to hundreds of people in Lexington. We'll have a closer look at the crash that caused the outage, as well as the lengthy repair.
Long night for those folks there. And a brand new Magoffin County High School is ready for learning. We'll have a look inside that new facility, and school is starting in some places today.
We are dry this morning as you're walking out the door and getting those kids ready to head out to the bus stop. But toward the afternoon, there is a slight chance, a small chance at a couple of showers. We'll show you where I expect that because not everybody will see those. That's coming up.
All right, thank you, and let's get right to the news.
Today, a judge is expected to make a ruling in the case of a man accused of killing a 6-year-old boy. They're seeing whether or not he's competent to stand trial.
Very important ruling in this case. Police say Ronald Exantis broke into a Versailles home back in December and stabbed little Logan Tipton to death while he was sleeping. WKYT's Mark Barber is live with us this morning with what we expect in that courtroom in Versailles today. Mark?
Good morning, Bill. We have been waiting for months to hear whether Ronald Exantis is competent to stand trial. In a few hours this morning, the judge here is expected to take a look at the state's psychiatric evaluation of Exantis to determine whether the 32-year-old is mentally competent to go to trial. Now, the important hearing that is scheduled today has been delayed for a few months because the attorneys have been busy with other cases. The Indiana man was arrested back in December after police say he broke into a home in Versailles and stabbed Logan Tipton to death. The 6-year-old boy was asleep in his bed. Exantis' attorney tells WKYT there is no explanation for what happened. She says the 32-year-old was in a state hospital for months after his arrest because he had a psychotic break. Logan's mother, however, thinks the attorney is just grasping for straws. She believes a psychiatric evaluation will prove that Exantis is mentally stable. Now, Exantis could face a death penalty if he does go on to trial and is found guilty of murder. Now, we have been speaking with his defense attorney, and she says that even if the judge rules today that he is competent to stand trial, that it could still be another year before the case would actually go to trial. Live in Versailles, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Okay, we'll be following up through the day, and we thank you, Mark, for the report. Well, there's good news in Lexington for some. The power is back on for hundreds of customers after a late-night crash. Had to be an inconvenience. Police say a van and an SUV crashed on South Broadway at Pine Street last night. That SUV then took out a power line. Police arrested the driver of the van on suspicion of drunk driving. At one point, about 600 Kentucky Utilities customers were without power, and outbound South Broadway was closed. That was through the overnight hours. But again, the power was restored. The road reopened a few minutes ago, just before 5:30 this morning.
New this morning, police are looking for someone who broke into a Lexington business. It happened at Blowing Vapors on Reading Road near Tate's Creek just before 1:30 in the morning. Police say someone smashed the store's front window and stole a handful of items. Some people in Powell County say they have concerns about the impact of a recent lightning strike that hit a natural gas substation. Today, the county is planning on doing something. Sean Moody's at the alert desk to tell us what.
Rebecca, this all started when those storms rolled through on Monday. Lightning hit the Tennessee Gas Pipeline compressor station there in Clay City. Now, when that happens, part of their emergency shutdown procedure is to vent some of the natural gas out into the atmosphere. They call that a blowdown. Kinder Morgan owns the company. They said when the facility vented that natural gas, what they call natural gas condensate was also released. And that left an oily mist residue on a nearby home and road. Now, people who live nearby said the company has offered to put them up in a hotel, and they say the EPA has told them to take precautions.
The man from the EPA took some samples, and he told us to not wear my shoes in my house, to take them off before I entered inside, to not eat from our gardens, and to not let my children outside before or until they figure everything out.
The Powell County Judge Executive said he wants proof that there's no health threat to people there. There will be a public meeting about the situation at the County Municipal Building this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Bill, Rebecca, back to you.
Interesting that she was told to take such precautions, so we'll see what happens at that meeting later today. Thank you.
A state trooper happened to be in the right place at the right time after a father and daughter became trapped in high water in Pulaski County.
My car was parked out, and I came back to get it just a minute ago, and I tried to cross, and it's just too deep. There's water coming in the doors, and me and my daughter are in the vehicle right now.
Now that is the 911 call the father made after he and his 3-year-old daughter got stuck under a bridge near Science Hill. Trooper Adam Childers just happened to be patrolling nearby, and he rushed to the scene for the rescue.
Dad handed the daughter through the window to me, and I carried her, keeping her above the water because she was cold and panicked. I kept her above the water.
Police say the father climbed onto the roof of the car and eventually made it to safety. Neither he nor his daughter were injured in that.
Kayakers will raise awareness for veteran suicide by paddling down the Red River in Powell County today. About 22 veterans take their own lives each day. And to bring attention to this problem, Red River Adventure is hosting a 22 paddle salute. It's meant to promote outdoor recreation that can act as a coping mechanism for veterans.
We're coming up on 6 minutes after 6 on WKYT this morning. Well, he's been in charge for nearly a month now, and the new Scott County School Superintendent is already pushing for some big changes. During a town hall meeting last night, Superintendent Kevin Hubb talked about a proposed funding mechanism and construction of a new high school in the county. Hubb is asking for a nickel tax to pay for bonds to cover costs to build Great Crossing High School. The project is expected to cost about $48 million.
I think there's a great need for a second high school, not only because of our student population, but because we're a community that's growing so fast. Whether it's tomorrow or 2 years from now or 4 years from now, it's my belief that we need to get in front of this.
Superintendent Hubb is hoping to open the new school in August of 2018. Now, there will be 2 more town hall meetings. One will be on August 8th, another on August 16th. The board will levy a tax or discuss all of that coming up on August 18th.
Magoffin County's new high school is open for business. More than 700 students will attend the new Magoffin County High School. The building includes 3 science labs, 3 computer labs, and a basketball gym that can seat up to 2,000 people. Students at Magoffin County Schools start back on August 11th.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
6:07. If you're about to take off early this morning, you're going to be running into some patchy fog here and there. As I was coming in early this morning, which was a few hours ago, a little patchy fog there on the interstates, and as you got off the interstate as well, here on Winchester Road. Moorhead, check that out in Rowan County. That's the best view as of right now. Going toward Louisville, going toward Florence, heading northbound on I-75, there's a little bit of fog here and there, but most of this is going to be east and southeastern Kentucky. Corbin's still dealing with that. Jackson, you can't even see the sun rising because of that fog sitting out there. Once the sun gets a little bit higher, then you'll be able to see that. But Frankfort, not looking too bad this morning, so if you're traveling, that's what you're going to be running into. Any rain? Not so much. Yeah, you look across the way, nothing really going on. There's a few blips now sparking up there in Lawrence County, right along that West Virginia and Kentucky border. And as we travel off into the afternoon, here's the breakdown of it. We get into the afternoon 1 to 6 p.m. I do expect a couple of showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Far eastern Kentucky, that is your best bet later on today to actually pick up on some of that. Central zones, western zones, I mean, you're talking 20%, and that's about it. Meaning you just can't rule it out. But for the most part, mainly dry, temperatures right around 88 degrees. So what are you trying to do the next few days? Are you trying to knock out some yard work? Are you trying to get the kids out to the park? Jacobson Park now up and running is the kids, it's a really cool park, by the way. And yeah, if you're trying to get some things done, do it today, because the next few days, Thursday, Friday, and even off towards your weekend, we will have those chances of rain to be on the increase. Storms will be around. It's not a complete and total washout, meaning no widespread rain expected. However, still some pretty heavy downpours are expected within these as these pass on through. Let me show you your 7-day forecast. Check this out. It's 88 degrees today, 87 tomorrow, 88, 87. You get the drift. We'll stay in the mid to upper 80s. But the storms return there tomorrow morning and through afternoon. And it's mainly for I-64 corridor southbound. That's your best bet for tomorrow. Not your only bet, but your best bet. And then Friday, Saturday, guys, looks like that front gets a little bit closer, gives us a little better opportunity to see it scattered out a little bit more. But then we head towards your Sunday, starts to clear some things on out. Sunday into next week doesn't look all that bad. Temperatures in the mid-80s. That's right where we typically are this time of year. So we just got to focus in on some thunderstorms. I talked about this morning that if the ground wasn't so wet, if we didn't have so much rain, this would be the next few days just your run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, just your afternoon thunderstorms.
Layers on top of layers.
Absolutely. That's what causes problems.
The old timers would say start counting the fogs here in August.
I like that old saying. It's a pretty good one. It's pretty
we'll
cool.
see. All right, coming up on 6:10 on WKYT.
Each morning we're bringing you weather and traffic.
And let's check in with Officer Don and get a look at what's happening out there on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Overall view of Lexington rush hour traffic, and we're also checking out the circle right now between Harrodsburg Road over to Richmond Road. Everything in between looks okay. The stalled car we're dealing with on the outer loop from Tates Creek. Issue there. Hamburg traffic looks good, but the construction zone continues on Todd's Road between Man-O-War on toward the I-75 overpass. Drive times right now are okay, no major impacts. And we're looking okay. A camera, of course, courtesy of the Lexington and Fayette Urban County government. We'll keep you up to date throughout the morning. Now back to you.
Okay, looks good. And now that that South Broadway situation has cleared up this morning, everybody moving along fine. And it's good to have you with us. Hump Day, it's Wednesday on WKYT this morning with much more on the way.
Donald Trump has ignited new tensions within his own party, why his latest comments are now swaying Republican loyalists to back his opponent, some of them Hillary Clinton.
Welcome back at 6:14 on WKYT. We are tracking a breaking news alert right now. The Mideast's biggest airline, Emirates, says an incident has happened at Dubai's main airport this morning. Social media users are reporting smoke at the scene. It appears there was some sort of plane crash. It is not clear if anyone was hurt. Keep it here on WKYT News. We'll continue to learn more about what happened. We'll update you as soon as we get new info. Fresh off of his feud with the parents of a fallen Muslim American soldier, Donald Trump is reopening old wounds within his own party.
And this time it's for refusing to endorse two powerful GOP leaders facing re-election this month. Hannah Daniels has the latest.
The latest dust-up came after Donald Trump gave an interview to the Washington Post, withholding endorsements for House Speaker Paul Ryan and Arizona Senator John McCain. Referring to Speaker Ryan, the Republican presidential nominee told the Post, "We need very strong leadership, and I'm just not quite there yet." Appearing on Fox News, Trump expressed similar reservations about Senator McCain.
And I've, never been a big fan of John McCain, and I just hate the way our veterans have been treated by John and other people. I hate it.
Speaking at the White House yesterday, President Obama challenged Republican leaders to take a stand.
If you are repeatedly having to say in very strong terms that what he has said is unacceptable, why are you still endorsing him?
In a snub to Trump, Hewlett-Packard CEO Meg Whitman and New York Congressman Richard Hanna added their names to a growing list of Republicans now intending to vote for Hillary Clinton. Campaigning in Florida, Clinton's running mate Tim Kaine stuck to message.
Hillary Clinton, she's going to be your hired president.
The Democratic Party still faces its own internal struggles. 3 more top officials at the Democratic National Committee resigned Tuesday in the wake of the committee's email hack. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Hillary Clinton campaigns today in the key swing state of Colorado, while Donald Trump is rallying support in Florida.
Kentucky native and Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer is weighing in on some of Donald Trump's controversial comments. The Republican presidential nominee is facing criticism for his comments towards the parents of a Muslim American soldier killed in combat. Meyer took to Twitter yesterday saying if Trump wanted to be the commander-in-chief, he needs to act like one. He also called on Trump to apologize to the soldier's parents.
Health officials in Florida are now dealing with a 15th case of the Zika virus. The development comes after the CDC issued an unprecedented warning urging pregnant women not to travel to Miami's Wynwood Arts District. 14 people in the area have been infected with Zika. The outbreak has prompted health officials in other parts of the country to step up efforts to get rid of mosquitoes. New York City is using special tablets to kill off mosquito larvae in its subway system. The CDC says it's concerned that the mosquito carrying the Zika virus may be resisting insecticides. People in southern Arizona are cleaning up after being hit by monsoon storms yesterday. The heavy rains led to flash flooding along roadways, stranding several drivers. So far, authorities say no one was injured in the storms.
All right, some might want to call those monsoons we had around here recently. Our time this morning is 6:18. U.S. auto sales were expected to drop by about 1% in July because hot weather kept buyers indoors. That's according to Kelley Blue Book. General Motors sales fell 2%. Ford's U.S. sales dropped 3%. Both automakers reported declines in pickup truck sales, their best sellers, but strong sales of big SUVs. Well, critics are calling out a Gap Kids ad in the UK, saying that it is sexist and promotes gender stereotypes. A boy is wearing a T-shirt with an Albert Einstein photo. The caption calls him a little scholar, even though Einstein is spelled incorrectly on the shirt. The girl is wearing kitten ears, and the caption reads, "Social Butterfly." Gap says it did not mean to offend anyone and wanted to celebrate every child. Starbucks is recalling millions of stainless steel straws. The company sold the straws online and in its stores. Starbucks leaders say they have received 3 reports of children suffering mouth lacerations while using the straws. The company is recalling more than 2 million straw sets. Straws have a ridge at the bottom that keeps them attached to the beverage lids, so an issue there. And a New Jersey man is filing a class action lawsuit in federal court to keep Pokemon Go players away from his house. Jeffrey Martyr of West Orange says for the past month, strangers have been lingering outside his home, even knocking on his door and asking if they could get into his backyard to catch a Pokemon that is, of course, placed there by a virtual game. Spokespeople for the companies that make the game were not available for comment on the story. We'll see where it goes.
I would imagine not.
Yep.
WKYT this morning is just getting started. Early week storms created a heck of a light show over the city of Baton Rouge. We've got some stunning video coming up.
Luckily, we're not going to see that today. It's mostly dry today, a slight chance and a couple of showers back toward eastern Kentucky, but today's the day you got to take advantage of. Next few days, they don't look completely wet, but there will be some wet times. I'll have that coming up next.
Welcome back at 6:23 this morning. A judge will determine if a man accused of brutally killing a Woodford County boy is competent to stand trial today.
We are on that story right now, and that's what's trending at this hour. The person accused of breaking into a Versailles home last December and stabbing 6-year-old Logan Tipton to death. If he is found competent, attorneys say it could be at least another year before the case goes to trial. Exantis is charged with murder, burglary, and some counts of assault.
Power has been restored to hundreds of Lexington customers after a late-night crash. Police say a van and SUV crashed on South Broadway at Pine Street last night. That SUV then took out a power line. At one point, about 600 KU customers were without power. The outbound South Broadway lane was closed.
Some early fog out there this morning, but we should have a pretty nice day today. Here's meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, that's our main concern early this morning. As you can see, some lower lying fog. None of this is extremely thick here in Lexington, but nonetheless, you get off places like east and southeastern Kentucky, and that's where we're holding on to at least some fog, some patchy fog here and there. That's an area that we picked up some rain yesterday, and that's why you're seeing some fog this morning. But not only that, but that looks like the best chance again today to actually pick up on that small chance of rain. So let's break it down for you in your forecast. Patchy fog. Get off toward noontime, the fog will be gone. It's mainly dry. No major problems whatsoever. Then we hit the afternoon, it's a small chance of rain. The best opportunity is anywhere from Moorhead to West Liberty down toward Jackson and Breathitt County down south into Harlan and Letcher, and all the way toward the east toward West Virginia and Virginia. That's the best chance. Other than that, it's just a slight chance at 20% for the rest of the region. So we're going to show you when the storms actually move on in the next few days. That's coming up, guys.
Okay, thank you very much.
Weather video never ceases to amaze, and this is one of those.
Yeah, take a look here this morning. Stunning video of lightning strikes in Baton Rouge. It was caught on a tower camera during a storm that moved through the city earlier in the week. Luckily, no injuries reported. A spectacular light show there, though, for folks to see.
Wow.
I don't know if you would say enjoy, but I'm sure in a way, if you could keep your distance and you were safe, that really was an amazing sight. Well, a Maine police officer's intervention in a possible mad cow situation is getting some laughs.
You just step over the side of the road, put your hands up in the air. Don't run from me, I'm the police. Hey, get back here. Watch out for the mailbox. All right, down on the ground. Get down on the ground. Stop resisting. Well, that's booze. Leave it alone. It's not good for you.
Officer Ernest McVeigh of the Windham Police Department said he made the cell phone video for his 10-year-old son, but it went viral after the department posted it on Facebook. That is funny stuff right there.
Yeah, he was having some fun. I guess they eventually got the cows corralled.
Yes.
That happens, huh? 6:26 our time on WKYT this morning.
When we come back, the city of Lexington says the Central Library is now a possible location for a new city hall. We'll have a closer look at the recent announcement coming up at 6:30.
We're going to be looking into that. Also, tonight's Powerball is $40 million, and Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $30 million. And we're back with your top stories on WKYT this morning.